Book 92 of 2019 was Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. So, Handmaid's Tale is one of my favourite books. I have only read it the once, and I imagine if I read it again, I probably won't like it as much. But when I first read it, I thought that it was amazing. It had a lot of the stuff in there that I like in books. And so I started to try and find other books that Margaret Atwood had written because I was looking for a similar kind of feeling from her book. I thought, if she's wrote The Handmaid's Tale, then her other books are going to be as good. Unfortunately, that's not been the case for me. I read The Heart Comes Last because somebody that I knew had it and I borrowed it from them. I didn't like that. And then I've read Oryx and Crake now, and this one is similar to The Heart Comes Last in that it's written in a very kind of postmodern style. So there's a lot of crass language. There's a lot of kind of sexual and paedophilic references. And it just feels really cheap. It feels really kind of like common, really kind of like uncouth, if you will. And the characters in the book I found very undeveloped, very kind of two-dimensional. The plot was tiresome. I was bored through most of it. There was very little traction in there at all, apart from the odd couple of chapters where it got a bit going and then it kind of just, flopped again. Apparently there's lots of satire in it, which I completely and utterly missed. So if it's there, it's not obvious. And she kind of like renames products in weird ways and talks about spliced genomes and stuff, but it's repetitive. It's done all the time. So it was just really kind of like tiresome and really kind of like, ugh. And it's a big book. Like it's not like, oh, it smells like an old book. It's not, and it's short listed for the Man Booker Prize. And apparently I found out as well that she's just wrote the Testaments, and that got a joint Man Booker Prize. Like, I have no respect for the Man Booker Prize if this has come joint and if this has been shortlisted and that's come joint first. To be honest with you, it's funny actually because in the Testaments, the old characters that are in there from The Handmaid's Tale sound great. I really enjoyed them, but the new characters have got the same problems with what these two books that I've just been discussing have got, in that they're very postmodern. It's like Margaret Atwood is quite an old lady. Older lady, is that the right thing to say? It's probably not, is it? And it's like almost as if she's trying to write younger characters. She's trying to write characters that are in a different like time, and she just is failing miserably. It's like what she expects a younger person to behave like and act like, and you just wouldn't act like that. So it was really like inauthentic. And obviously you can't tell as much in Oryx and Crake because it's in a dystopic future and whatever. But obviously in the Testaments, like they're in like nowadays, you could presume, or within our kind of world, and it's done really badly. And so I kind of think that that's probably like a weakness of Margaret Atwood. I think she's probably very good at writing like Handmaid's Tale kind of style books. Apparently there's others like Elias Grace and The Blind Assassin that are supposedly more like that, but then I don't trust people's opinions because someone at the book club that I went to recently said that Oryx and Crake was great, and it's awful, like it's really bad. So I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to be reading any more of her books, because honestly I've read 4 now, and whilst I enjoyed Handmaid's Tale, none of them have been anything in comparison. I have a sneaking suspicion that she didn't actually write Handmaid's Tale and that all the other ones are her work, but Handmaid's Tale she's found somewhere. Someone's like left it in a cupboard locker or whatever, and it's Gilead actually exists somewhere. I don't know. I'm joking, by the way. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend reading this book because it's not that good really. Although having said that, like I said, someone at the book club that I went to really enjoyed it, but then that just means now that I just don't respect that person's opinion anymore, because yeah, it was awful.